That single sentence detonated across the internet. Caitlyn Jenner, a figure known for rarely speaking openly about Kylie Jenner's love life, suddenly said something no one expected. She mentioned Timothée Chalamet, and not with doubt, not with distance, but with approval. Caitlyn called him a good man for Kylie. And in that moment, fans didn't just react. They exploded. Before we go any further, make sure you hit like, drop your thoughts in the comments, and share this story right now, because what you're about to hear isn't just celebrity chatter. This is a turning point in one of the most closely watched relationships in pop culture today. In the Kardashian-Jenner universe, every word matters. Every expression is decoded. For months, the public has lived on blurry paparazzi photos, red carpet glances, and whispers from unnamed insiders. The relationship between Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet has always felt real, but unfinished. Present, yet never fully validated by the family. Until now. During a moment that initially seemed casual, Caitlyn Jenner delivered a statement that instantly became global news. She didn't oversell it. She didn't dramatize it. She simply said Timothee is good to Kylie. And that simplicity is exactly why it hit so hard. Fans immediately understood the weight behind it. In one short comment, Caitlyn said what millions had been waiting to hear. Social media erupted within minutes. Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet surged to the top of trending lists worldwide. Fans who had defended the relationship from day one felt vindicated. Skeptics paused. Because when someone as protective and selective as Caitlyn Jenner speaks positively, it's rarely without reason. Zoom in on the context. Caitlyn is not easily impressed by Hollywood charm. She has seen decades of fame, pressure, and relationships collapse under the spotlight. When she describes someone as a good man for her daughter, many interpret that as a judgment of character, not image. And Timothée Chalamet's public reputation suddenly felt aligned with that approval: thoughtful, private, focused on craft, and noticeably distant from chaos. But then comes the question that deepens the intrigue. Why now? Why did Caitlyn choose this moment to speak? Sources close to the Jenner family suggest that Kylie and Timothee's relationship has quietly shifted into a more serious phase. No longer just discreet dates. No longer occasional appearances. But something steadier, more grounded, and far more intentional. According to those sources, Caitlyn has seen a change in Kylie, less reactive, more centered, and visibly calmer when Timothee is around. This is where the story stops being just entertainment news and becomes something more human. This is about a mother recognizing her daughter's peace. About a woman who grew up in front of cameras finally finding a relationship that doesn't demand performance. Here's the teaser that keeps fans watching. After Caitlyn's comment went viral, everything about Timothée Chalamet began to look different. Old interviews resurfaced. His repeated insistence on protecting his private life. His careful distance from public oversharing. Even his body language next to Kylie, never overpowering, never performative, suddenly felt intentional. As if Caitlyn's words unlocked the meaning behind his restraint all along. Fan reactions split instantly. One side celebrated, calling this Kylie Jenner's healthiest and most mature relationship yet. The other remained cautious, remembering how intense public pressure has affected Kylie's past. But one thing became undeniable: this relationship had crossed into a new chapter. International media shifted tone as well. Coverage expanded beyond romance rumors and into family dynamics. Reports surfaced that Kris Jenner, Kim Kardashian, and Khloe Kardashian were quietly supportive. Still, Caitlyn's voice carried a different gravity. Rare. Personal. Unfiltered. And because of that, impossible to ignore. The climax of this story rests on a simple truth. In a world full of spectacle, the most powerful validation often comes quietly. When Caitlyn Jenner calls Timothée Chalamet a good man for Kylie, it doesn't feel like a headline, it feels like permission. Like trust. And maybe, for the first time in a long time, Kylie Jenner isn't just in love. She's at peace. Now it's your turn. Does Caitlyn Jenner's comment change how you see Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet? Is this the sign that their relationship is moving towards something truly serious, or will the spotlight test them once again? Drop your opinion in the comments, hit like, share this story, and stay tuned for the latest updates on Kylie Jenner, Timothée Chalamet, and the celebrity world that never stops watching. And that sense of calm is exactly what has fans talking non-stop. Because when you look closer, this relationship doesn't follow the usual Kardashian-Jenner pattern. There are no explosive interviews. No dramatic Instagram captions. No constant public displays designed to dominate headlines. Instead, there is silence, control, distance. And strangely, that restraint is what makes everything feel louder. Industry insiders note that Timothée Chalamet has always been hyper-aware of how fame can distort real connections. Long before Kylie entered his life, he openly spoke about protecting his inner circle and avoiding relationships that exist only for optics. That mindset, fans now believe, is precisely why Caitlyn Jenner feels comfortable offering approval. To her, Timothée doesn't look like someone chasing attention, he looks like someone guarding it. And that distinction matters more than people realize. Behind closed doors, Kylie Jenner's life has been anything but quiet. Billion-dollar businesses. Constant scrutiny. A personal history dissected by strangers. Every relationship she's ever had became a public referendum. So when those closest to her notice a shift, less chaos, fewer emotional spikes, more consistency, it sends a message stronger than any public confirmation. Observers point out that Kylie's recent public appearances reflect that change. Her demeanor appears more composed. Her interviews more measured. Even her social media presence feels less reactive, less defensive. While none of this is explicitly attributed to Timothée, Caitlyn's words now hover over every detail, reframing what fans think they're seeing. And then there's the timing. Caitlyn's comment didn't arrive during a promotional cycle. It wasn't tied to a red carpet moment or a viral clip. It surfaced organically, and that's exactly why it landed so hard. In celebrity culture, spontaneity often signals truth. And truth, once spoken, changes the narrative permanently. What followed was a ripple effect no PR team could manufacture. Entertainment outlets revisited timelines. When did Kylie and Timothée first connect? When did their dynamic visibly shift? Fans started mapping moments, award shows, after parties, low-key sightings, that once seemed insignificant but now felt loaded with meaning. Each appearance became evidence in a larger story. This wasn't casual anymore. Still, skepticism remains. Some fans argue that approval from one family member doesn't guarantee longevity. They point to the relentless pressure of fame, the impossibility of true privacy, and the history of relationships that looked solid until they weren't. And they're not wrong. The spotlight has a way of testing even the strongest bonds. But here's where the narrative takes a sharper turn. Unlike past relationships, this one seems built on avoidance of spectacle rather than dependency on it. Timothée Chalamet does not amplify Kylie's brand, nor does Kylie leverage his mystique for attention. If anything, they appear to move in parallel, close, but not consuming each other's identities. That balance is rare. And Caitlyn Jenner, having lived through decades of media obsession, recognizes it instantly. Sources suggest that family conversations about Timothée have shifted tone. No longer cautious. No longer observational. But quietly confident. He's described as respectful, grounded, and notably uninterested in controlling the narrative around the relationship. To the Jenner family, that restraint reads as emotional maturity. And for Kylie, emotional safety has never been more valuable. As the weeks pass, fans are watching for signs, not of drama, but of continuation. Will they attend more events together? Will the relationship remain intentionally private? Or will Caitlyn's words slowly open the door to a more visible chapter? That uncertainty is what keeps engagement high. Because the story isn't resolved. It's unfolding. What makes this moment stand out is not the approval itself, but what it represents. In a family where silence often speaks louder than words, Caitlyn chose to speak. Briefly, clearly, and with purpose. That choice reframed months of speculation into something closer to clarity. For many fans, that clarity feels like relief. They aren't watching for chaos. They're watching for stability. And in a pop culture landscape addicted to collapse, stability feels revolutionary. So now the question lingers, not just for fans, but for the media watching closely. Is this the beginning of a long-term partnership that quietly defies expectations? Or is it simply a rare moment of calm before the spotlight intensifies once again? One thing is certain. Caitlyn Jenner's words can't be taken back. They exist now, looped, quoted, and archived into the story of Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet. And because of that, the relationship has crossed an invisible line. It's no longer just rumored. It's no longer just observed. It's acknowledged. And sometimes, acknowledgement is the most powerful confirmation of all. Now we want to hear from you. Do you believe Caitlyn Jenner's approval signals a serious future for Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet? Or do you think the pressure of global attention will eventually test them? Leave your thoughts in the comments, hit like if this story changed your perspective, share it with fellow fans, and stay locked in, because this story isn't ending anytime soon. And yet, even with all that acknowledgement, the silence between Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet remains deliberate, and that silence may be the loudest statement of all. In an era where celebrity relationships are often confirmed through staged photos or carefully worded posts, this one continues to resist definition. There has been no official announcement. No joint interview. No dramatic declaration of love. Instead, there is consistency. And consistency, especially in Hollywood, is rare. After Caitlyn Jenner's comments spread across platforms, fans began noticing something else. Nothing changed. There was no sudden shift in behavior, no rush to capitalize on the moment. Timothee didn't address it. Kylie didn't repost headlines. That restraint only deepened the intrigue. Because if this relationship were fragile, many believe the reaction would have been defensive. Instead, there was calm. That calm is what separates this story from countless celebrity romances before it. People close to the situation suggest that Timothee's influence on Kylie isn't about control or direction, but about grounding. He's described as someone who listens more than he speaks, who avoids unnecessary exposure, and who values personal boundaries almost obsessively. For someone like Kylie, whose life has been public since adolescence, that kind of presence can feel less like excitement and more like relief. And relief, over time, becomes attachment. Fans have also begun analyzing Kylie's business decisions and public pacing. Product launches are still massive, but her personal branding feels less centered on validation. There's a subtle shift away from constant visibility. Less need to respond. Less urgency to explain herself. Many interpret this as a sign of emotional security, a trait often mirrored by partners in stable relationships. Of course, not everyone is convinced. Critics argue that public perception can be deceiving, that curated calm doesn't always reflect reality. They point out that privacy itself can be a strategy. And in the Kardashian-Jenner world, nothing exists without calculation. But even skeptics admit one thing: Caitlyn Jenner's approval complicates the usual narrative. Because Caitlyn has nothing to gain from embellishment. Her words weren't monetized. They weren't tied to promotion. They weren't part of a broader media rollout. They simply existed, and that authenticity is why they continue to echo weeks later. Fans replay them. Media outlets quote them. Comment sections dissect them. And still, the relationship remains unchanged on the surface. That paradox fuels obsession. What's also fueling speculation is how Timothée Chalamet's career trajectory aligns with this moment. As one of the most critically respected actors of his generation, he's entering a phase where reputation matters more than hype. Associating with a high-profile partner like Kylie Jenner could easily shift public perception, but instead of leaning into it, he appears to be protecting the boundary between personal life and professional identity. That choice resonates with audiences who are tired of overexposure. Meanwhile, Kylie Jenner stands at a crossroads of her own. No longer the youngest billionaire headline. No longer the shock factor. She's evolving into something quieter, more deliberate. And relationships often mirror personal transitions. Fans see this pairing not as a publicity stunt, but as a reflection of two people redefining what visibility means to them. The tension now lies in anticipation. Will Caitlyn's words eventually lead to a more open chapter? Will Kylie and Timothee step into the spotlight together on their own terms? Or will they continue to defy expectation by staying just out of reach? That unanswered question keeps retention high. Because the story hasn't peaked yet, it's building. Every future appearance, every absence, every indirect reference will now be filtered through one confirmed truth: the family knows, and at least one voice approves. That changes how everything is interpreted moving forward. And in celebrity culture, interpretation is everything. For fans, this moment feels validating. For critics, it's a test. For the media, it's fuel. But for Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet, it may simply be life continuing as planned, quietly, intentionally, and without explanation. Which brings us to the real payoff of this story. Caitlyn Jenner didn't confirm a relationship. She didn't announce engagement. She didn't promise permanence. She did something far more powerful. She normalized it. By calling Timothee a good man for Kylie, she stripped the relationship of spectacle and framed it as something ordinary, healthy, and human. And in a world that thrives on chaos, that framing is revolutionary. So now, the noise belongs to everyone else. Fans will debate. Headlines will speculate. Clips will circulate. But the relationship itself appears untouched by the storm. And maybe that's the point. Now let us know, does this continued silence strengthen your belief in Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet, or does it leave you wanting more clarity? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit like if you're still watching closely, share this story with fellow fans, and stay tuned, because sometimes, the quietest stories last the longest. And as the conversation keeps growing, one detail continues to resurface, again and again, refusing to fade. Caitlyn Jenner didn't hesitate. People who know the family dynamics understand how rare that is. Caitlyn has witnessed fame at its most seductive and its most destructive. She has seen relationships flourish under pressure and collapse the moment the cameras moved closer. So when she chose to speak without qualifiers, without distance, it signaled confidence. Not hope. Not curiosity. Confidence. That distinction is everything. After the initial wave of reactions, industry analysts began reframing the narrative. This wasn't just about Kylie Jenner dating an A-list actor. It was about alignment. Two public figures operating at different ends of fame, finding common ground in restraint. And that restraint is now being interpreted as the foundation of something durable. Behind the scenes, insiders describe Timothée Chalamet as intensely self-aware. He understands how quickly public affection can turn into pressure. How easily expectations can poison intimacy. That awareness reportedly shapes how he approaches the relationship, slowly, deliberately, and without feeding the audience more than necessary. In an environment addicted to access, denial becomes a form of power. Kylie, meanwhile, appears to be responding in kind. Recent sightings show no escalation, no performative closeness. If anything, their interactions appear quieter than before. Less tension. Less proving. Fans describe it as settled energy, a phrase that keeps appearing in comment sections and reaction videos. Settled doesn't mean boring, it means secure. And security, for someone who grew up under constant judgment, can be intoxicating. The deeper fans dig, the more patterns emerge. Kylie's inner circle has reportedly shrunk. Her public engagements feel more intentional. There's less urgency to be seen everywhere, to respond to everything. Some interpret this as maturity. Others see it as influence. But almost everyone agrees, it's different. That difference becomes even more striking when contrasted with past relationships. Where there was once spectacle, there is now absence. Where there was once noise, there is now quiet. And while silence can invite speculation, it can also signal boundaries being respected. Caitlyn's approval now acts as a filter, shaping how fans interpret every move, or lack thereof. And then there's the generational aspect. Timothée Chalamet represents a different Hollywood ethos. One rooted less in tabloid dominance and more in artistic credibility. His audience values authenticity over access. Kylie Jenner's audience, on the other hand, has lived through years of overexposure. This relationship sits at the intersection of those worlds, and somehow, neither side feels exploited. That balance is rare. And fragile. Which is why Caitlyn's words continue to matter long after the headlines moved on. They stabilize the narrative. They reassure fans who want to believe this is real, not reactive. They ground speculation in something tangible. Still, the story refuses to resolve, and that's what keeps engagement alive. Every time Kylie appears alone, fans ask why. Every time Timothee avoids a question, analysts interpret tone. Every detail is magnified because there is now an implied foundation beneath it. A sense that this relationship exists beyond what is visible. And perhaps that's the ultimate shift. In a culture where visibility equals validation, Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet are doing the opposite. They are existing without explanation. And Caitlyn Jenner's comment gave them permission to do exactly that. No confirmation required. No spectacle demanded. No performance necessary. Just acknowledgement. As time passes, the focus may shift away from whether the relationship is real and towards something more telling, whether it lasts. And longevity, not virality, is the true test of seriousness. For now, fans remain suspended in anticipation. Not waiting for an announcement, but watching for consistency. Because consistency, over time, becomes proof. And so the story continues, not in explosions, but in steady beats. Quiet appearances. Unanswered questions. A single comment that changed everything. Caitlyn Jenner didn't just speak about Timothée Chalamet. She reframed the entire conversation. And in doing so, she reminded the world that sometimes, the most powerful love stories are the ones that refuse to shout. Now the spotlight watches. The fans wait. And the silence holds. And the longer that silence holds, the more intentional it begins to feel. Because in celebrity culture, silence is rarely accidental. It is chosen, maintained, protected. And in this case, it seems to function as a shield, one that keeps the relationship intact while the outside world burns itself out trying to decode it. What's fascinating is how Caitlyn Jenner's brief approval continues to ripple outward, even without follow-up. She hasn't expanded on it. She hasn't clarified or walked it back. That restraint reinforces the credibility of what she said. If it were casual, it would have been corrected. If it were exaggerated, it would have been softened. but nothing came after. And that nothing has become its own statement. Media strategists note that this is where public narratives usually fracture. Either the couple leans in, feeding the attention, or they retreat completely. Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet have done something more complex. They've remained visible enough to confirm continuity, but distant enough to deny intrusion. It's a balancing act that very few couples manage successfully. And Caitlyn's words now act like an anchor. Whenever speculation starts to spiral, engagement rumors, breakup rumors, secret plans, fans pull the conversation back to that one sentence. She said he's good for her. It's repeated like a grounding truth. A reminder that someone who actually knows the situation saw no red flags worth warning about. That matters more than people admit. Behind the glamour, relationships at this level face unique pressures. Every public appearance is dissected. Every absence is treated as evidence. And yet, Kylie and Timothee seem to move unaffected, as if their relationship exists on a different frequency than the noise surrounding it. Observers have begun to suggest that this might be the healthiest dynamic Kylie has ever experienced, not because it's perfect, but because it's protected. There's no rush to define it for public consumption. No urgency to prove anything. And that absence of urgency is often what allows real intimacy to grow. As months pass, the story evolves from "are they together?" to "how are they managing this so quietly?" That question alone marks a shift in public perception. Instead of hunting for drama, fans are studying patterns of restraint. Instead of waiting for collapse, they're watching for endurance. Caitlyn Jenner's approval didn't ignite chaos, it redirected attention towards stability. And stability, in the Kardashian-Jenner world, is almost unheard of. It's also worth noting how this relationship has subtly altered Kylie's narrative. For years, her love life was framed as volatile, reactive, shaped by public opinion. Now, that framing feels outdated. With Timothée Chalamet, the dynamic appears less transactional, less performative. There's no need to convince the audience. The relationship doesn't rely on applause. And Caitlyn, by speaking once and then stepping back, modeled the same restraint she seems to respect in Timothee. That parallel isn't lost on fans. What's emerging is a story not of romance as spectacle, but of romance as alignment. Two people choosing privacy in a world that profits from exposure. A family member offering quiet approval instead of loud endorsement. And an audience slowly recalibrating its expectations. This doesn't mean the story is over. If anything, it's entering a longer arc, one defined by time rather than moments. The payoff isn't an announcement or a headline. It's longevity. It's consistency. It's the absence of scandal. And those are things you can't fake. So as the headlines cool and the trends move on, one fact remains unchanged: Caitlyn Jenner said what she said, and nothing since has contradicted it. That silence, combined with steady behavior, continues to reinforce the same message. Timothée Chalamet isn't just passing through Kylie Jenner's life. He's present. He's grounded. And according to someone who knows the cost of fame better than most, he's good for her. The world can speculate. The media can theorize. Fans can debate timelines and meanings. But the relationship itself appears to move forward untouched. And sometimes, that's the clearest sign of all. And as time stretches on, that quiet forward motion becomes impossible to ignore. Because stories like this usually burn fast. They flare, peak, and collapse under their own attention. Yet this one refuses to follow that cycle. Instead of accelerating towards spectacle, it slows. Instead of feeding curiosity, it withstands it. And in doing so, it changes how people talk about it. What began as curiosity has shifted into observation. Fans are no longer asking for proof of affection. They're watching for something subtler, patterns of presence. Timothée Chalamet continuing to show up in Kylie Jenner's orbit without announcement. Kylie continuing her life without disruption. No dramatic exits. No emotional turbulence made public. Just continuity. That continuity is rare enough to feel intentional. Caitlyn Jenner's comment now sits at the center of this entire narrative, not as a spark, but as a stabilizer. It reframed the relationship from rumor to reality without forcing it into performance. And once that happened, the pressure to show anything evaporated. Public reaction began to mature. Commentary online shifted tone. Less speculation about timelines. Fewer demands for confirmation. More acknowledgement that not everything needs to be consumed to be real. For a fan base conditioned to constant access, that shift is significant.